Hello everyone, welcome to my class. I am Dr. Ganesh from India. Today we are going to discuss about identifiers and keywords in Python language program. Last two classes I hope you can understand that. Introduction about the Python language programming, and then second class we discuss about the major features of Python language programming. Because this Python language programming is little bit different from conventional programming concepts as like a C and Java. So this is going to be a very easiest programming language where anyone can easily kickstart their programming skills with the help of Python language. So today we are going to see the identifiers and keywords concepts. This identifier and keyword concepts are important concepts because the reason behind is if you want to write a program, you need to name it. So as like a person how the name is there, the same way we need to naming our programming also. So that is the reason why we need to have some identifiers, as well as we need to declare a lot of variables inside the program. So I may be giving some inputs that has to be declared in a proper way so that the program will take up into the data into a properly. As well as after some performance, after doing some process, it will giving some output that also has to be properly stored in some variables. So for that also we have to name it properly. For that reasons this identifiers are mostly which is helping in Python language programming. Not only by defining a variable name as well as a Python programming, apart from that the class name also or the method name also we can define it by using identifiers. And then how we can develop our identifiers, how I can able to start writing my identifiers. There are some rules. We have to follow the rules, otherwise it may create some errors or problems inside our program. That rules also we are going to see inside our class. And then the keywords. There are 33 keywords are available in Python language programming, whereas in Java there are 53 keywords are available. What is the need for keywords? These keywords are specified already declared functionality. If I want to use some specific functions, that keywords are directly can be used. Once that keyword has been included in my program, then automatically it will perform that particular functions. That is the reason why 33 keywords has been given in Python language programming. So today we are going to discuss about the identifiers and keywords for our Python language programming class. As I told you, we need to define, we need to write a name for, we need to give a name for our program. So name in Python program. Maybe inside the program also I need to declare a lot of variables. Those variables also we need to write it in a name. So that names all we call it as a identifiers and class name or the method names. These all four methods we need to write an identifiers. How I can able to write an identifier and what are all the rules I have to follow. That is why here it has been given as a rules to define identifier. The first and foremost rule is it has to be an alphabets, and alphabets the Python will allow us to write our own alphabets both in uppercase as well as the lowercase. And then the symbols, that symbols also we can able to use, that symbols also that Ascii symbols. The Ascii symbols are American Standard Code for information interchange. That codes also can be used in our Python program. And then the digits which will start from 0 to 9. And then underscore. The underscore also can be used in our identifiers. One important restriction is it should not start with digits, because as we said, we can able to use the alphabets, we are allowed to use the symbols, we are allowed to use the digits, and also we are allowed to use the combination of alphabets, symbols and then digits. So in that case also there is only one restriction, that identifier should not start with a digit, it should start with an alphabets. But in between we can have the digits, or else end of the identifier also we can have our own digits. So that is one restriction. And the second restriction is, as I said, the keywords are not allowed by using as an identifier, because in Python program itself The keywords are specified functions. Those functions we are not allowed to use in an identifier. Otherwise, what will happen? If we are going to declare some name for a particular variable, but the Python compiler will perform some other functions, whatever the functions which has been declared, which has been defined in the keyword, that is going to be executed. End of the results, we will get some results. And then last point is that, it is a very important point, there is no restriction. I want to use my identifier starting from A to Z. It is allowed to Z, and then A to Z, and then 0 to 9. It is allowed. There is no restriction. If I want to keep my identifier as 100, that is also allowed. So alphabets, both in uppercase, lowercase can be used, symbols can be used, digits can be allowed, underscores, we should not start with a digit, keywords are not allowed. There is no restriction for the length of the limit. So next slide, we are going to see few examples so that you will understand that how to create your own identifiers in our Python program. For this example, if you see that first example, I want to create my identifier, cash. Cash is going to be 10, which has to be, I am going to use it in my program. Cash is equal to 10. It is a valid identifier because it has been using alphabets only. And then second thing is CA, the same cash, instead of S, I want to use a dollar symbol. This symbol is not allowed inside the identifier. So it is an invalid identifier. The third one, as I told you, the identifier should not start with the digits. So here total 1, 2, 3. So which is a valid identifier because it starts with alphabets, ends with the digits. There is no issue in that. And the last one, 1, 2, 3 total, which is an invalid because it starts with the digits. It never compile. Python never allow you to create this type of identifier. Next, we are going to see the keywords. As I told you, 33 reserved keywords for some functionality in Python compiler. It starts from true, false, and none. We know that first three, if you look at it, these are all going to define some data. In my machine language program, I want to use a zeros and ones. 0 may be false, 1 may be a true. So here also in this Python program, wherever I am going to use a true, which will be considered as a value is 1, wherever I am going to use it as a 0, that is going to be considered as a false here. So none, there is no data. So true, false, and none. These three are the data which is going to give some values inside. Whenever I am going to declare as a Boolean data, then automatically it should understand that true is going to be a 1 and false is going to be a number 0. And then and, are, not. These three keywords are logical operators. I want to use some logical operation in my program. So these keywords can be used for in our program. So and, are, and not. These are all the logical operators. And then is, and then if, else, else if, while, for. These are all the looping functionality. So during my program, I want to create some loops for if I want to check my condition. So for that I may use a if and else condition. I need to repeatedly, I want to execute the operations. For that I can use some for loops also. So in next few classes, we are going to discuss about the different loops. During that concepts, we will be clearly understanding that how if, else, else if, while, and for loops are going to work. And then break, continue. If I want to return some value, that return I can use in, yield, try, except. If I want to finalize the things, then the finally, these keywords can be used. And then rise, assert, import. This import concept is, if I want to import some libraries into my Python program. For example, in C program, I want to include mathematical functionality in my program. So those scenarios, what we used to do, we need to include the header file. That header file name is called as #include math.h. Automatically that program will take all the mathematical library functions which are all available, that will be taken into that program. The same way here, this import can be used to import the library functions, multiple library functions inside our Python program. Maybe another class, next class, we may be discussing those part also. And then from, as, class also, what class it belongs to, and definition, pass. Sometimes we need to declare some global variable. My program may be 1,000 lines of program, or it may be 2,000 lines of programs. If it is going to be a real-time projects, then we need to declare some global variable. Sometimes we need to declare some local variables. So those scenarios we can use this type of keywords, the global, non-local and local variables. And then lambda, del, with. So totally 33 keywords are going to be there. Further classes we are going to discuss looping concepts, then automatically we are going to discuss the loops. Whenever we are discussing a data type, then automatically we will discuss about the true, false and none. Similarly, we will discuss all the 33 keywords functionality in depth with some example programs. So as like identifier, here also there are some guidelines, but the guidelines are going to be very simple when compared to an identifier. Here the first one is only alphabet symbols are going to be used, because you are not going to create your own keywords, but only the keywords which are all already it is available. But how to use it in our program? So in that part we need to follow some guidelines. That one, true, false and none. If you see that these three keywords are special keywords, because only these three keywords are, the first letter is going to be uppercase, rest of the letters are going to be a lower case. All other remaining 30 keywords, all the keywords are going to be a lower case. Only this true, false and none, and that too for a first letter only it is going to be an uppercase letters. So these three, true, false and none. To get all keywords, suppose I am saying 33 keywords. If you want to check, I want to check how many keywords in my Python compiler. So if you want to get or you want to use it in your program, then you can do that. Whatever I told, the same keyword we are going to use it here. Here you see the example import. I want to import keywords. So import keywords. Then the next statement what I want to see, automatically it will import, but I want to see it. But I want to see in my screen. Then what I have to do, keyword dot keyword kw list, then automatically which is going to list it out all the 33 keywords in your screen itself. You can also able to see the all the 33 keywords, and if you want to see the functionality also you can able to see that. So now you are understand that what is an identifier, what is the purpose we are going to use an identifier, and how you can able to create your own identifiers, and what are all the rules you have to follow when you create your own identifiers. And then we have discussed 33 keywords which are all available in our Python, all the 33 keywords, and what are the rules and how to import the keywords in our Python compiler, that also we have seen. I hope you understand identifier and keyword concepts in Python program. Hope you will understand this concept. Thank you.